Okay, hello and welcome. What? You messed me up, you bastard. We're gonna keep going with this anyway. Hello, welcome to the Gameroom, your bi-weekly video game podcast that, there's a quip here I normally insert, and you know what, I can't even be bothered this week, so. I'm Michael McLeod, and joining me always by, see, this is why I pre-record this shit, is Dwight Robinson. How you doing, Dwight?
As usual, doing pretty good.
Okay, as usual. Well, that's good. Yeah, this is why I pre-record. See how bumbling that was? But you know what? We're just going to go with it. I just got off work. I don't care. I don't care, guys. I mean, I care that you're listening. I'm glad that you are listening.
We care about
I hope
all
you're
our
doing
listeners.
all right. I hope you're not listening to this in a hospital bed. Or if you are, it's encouraging you to get better. But you know, I'm just not. I'm there. I'm making it. Mm-hmm. This past week, we've had a lot of good stuff happen. Some of us, 50% of us, have new consoles.
Yes.
You could probably assume which 50%. But, 50% of us have new consoles, and we're going to talk a little bit about the impressions on that. But first, let's go what we normally do, I guess. Let's talk about what we've been playing. So I'll put that over to Dwight. I didn't even look at your list. Oh, you know what? One Piece World Seeker. Start with that, because I've played that. We could talk about that together. I haven't talked about it lately, and I haven't played it recently. So what are your impressions?
World Seeker. So, like I've said before on this podcast, is that I normally cannot stand anime games just because they're usually just quick cash-ins and everything.
And I think I mentioned to you this game was okay, but anyway, continue.
So yeah, it's pretty good. And so I got this a long time ago. Actually, I got this maybe like a year or so ago.
Hey, it's not a new game, yeah.
Yeah, not at all.
It's like the pseudo sequel to Unlimited World Red.
World Red, yeah. Which I do. I have Unlimited World Red on PS3, and I didn't like it. When I first popped it in and played it and everything, and I was super excited about it because I was like, oh man, finally there had a One Piece game where it's not just like a quick cash-in fighting game or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I didn't really like it. I thought it was like super shallow. But so I tried this out. I booted up on my Xbox for like the first time ever.
Yeah.
I just want to say
your Xbox works again, by the way.
Yeah, it works again. So that's the theme for this episode, I guess, is I finally got my fucking Xbox to start working again. That was a long story, so I'm not going to get all into that, but ended up having to like wipe it, and it's now back in the realm of the living. So started re-downloading everything, updating everything, and now here we are. So One Piece, finally started that up. And I think it's like close to 4K or something like that. I'm playing it on a 1X.
It's super pretty on 1X. Yeah, that's what I played it on.
Super sharp. And it has HDR, which I was blown away by that. I don't think there's any other anime game that has HDR.
Unless you count Ni no Kuni 2 or 1.
Yeah.
Ni no Kuni 2 is an example of what HDR should do right now.
Licensed anime games. Yeah. Licensed anime game. Because normally you wouldn't think you would need it, just because it's anime, so it's already kind of really colorful and everything. Yep. But I think it looks really good. I was actually surprised. It's not running at 60, but I mean it's pretty
You're playing
even and everything.
Not running at 60.
I'll give it a break since it's One Piece. So
I got you.
But it is. I mean, it's an open world game, of course. I like it.
Kind of like a Resident Evil style camera almost. I mean, you're not taking controls, obviously.
Yeah,
but you have like an over-the-shoulder camera.
I backed the camera out because it was way too close.
You can do that?
Yeah, you can go into the settings. That's the first thing
Holy
I look
shit.
for. Two things.
I thought you were just stuck like that, and I just got used to it.
No, it's terrible. Because as soon as I saw that, I was like, wow, I'm not going to play an open world game with this Resident Evil 4 looking ass camera. So the first thing I did was go into the menu. I turned the camera turn speed all the way up because that's super slow in that game.
It's super slow. I remember doing that. Slow. I didn't know you could back it up though, or maybe I don't know.
Yeah, and I backed the camera up all the way so I could actually see what's going on. So I mean, it's I like how they did the kind of the battle system. I do like how you can switch between two different stances, which is pretty interesting. They kind of missed I think if they would have just said gear second, if you're like familiar with it at all, like if he has like 3 or 4 different gears now or whatever, and each one has like different sets of attacks. So I would have assumed they would say like, okay, well you press this to go to gear second and press this to go to gear third. It's kind of like, turning Super Saiyan and then Super Saiyan 2 or 3 or whatever. It's kind of like that, but it's a little different because Goku just gets stronger. But
his hair changes too, don't forget that.
Yeah. But Luffy actually changes like what kind of attacks you can do in each of these games, which they don't really do that. They kind of have like a mixture. So the stance you start in is kind of like gear second. Whatever. That's getting all into the weeds. The thing I didn't like about the game, even though it looks great, for one, the character design, you could tell immediately who they spent the extra 5 minutes on, like, in production time or whatever, on like making the character skins and design and everything. Luffy looks great. All the main characters look great. All the extras and all the background characters.
Yeah. It's one of those games where if you have to go find somebody that's part of the story, you have no problem finding them because they're way more detailed than everyone else.
Way more detailed. I think at the first 5 minutes, you show up at the beach and there's this little kid that's there and he's talking to you. That little kid looked like he came straight out of Mega Man Legends on PS1. I'm like, holy shit. It looked pretty bad, but you only really notice it because everything else is like fucking 4K and HDR and looks amazing. But I mean, it's still a good game. The animations are kind of chunky, so the animations themselves are fine, but transitioning into other animations is really chunky. So like if to be able to get around, you can extend your arm and then like pull yourself up at a higher,
Yeah, that's something I had from left over from World Red.
Yeah, so you can do that, but then it never feels smooth. It never feels like.
Yeah, I agree. I wonder, actually, you know what? I have this on disc. I bet I could pop it into the Series X and wonder if it'll. Well, I bet it's capped.
Yeah, it's capped.
Okay.
But it's. So I like the game, but I feel like they did get kind of close to the sun on this one, like it flew very close to the sun. But I mean it's a good attempt, and I feel like if they make another one, if they ever make a second one of this, they can clean up some of the animation transition problems, because that's, to me, is the only real issue with that game. Is the just transition between animation when you're doing your attacks and everything, and then you want to run and then you want to jump and you want to like jump over stuff. Like the actual movement never really feels good. It never like feels smooth. Like you can just spend. There's some games you could just like run around for like 30 minutes, just like run around, because movement feels so amazing. And this is not one of those games.
And this is not one of those.
Not at all. But I mean, it looks great. I think it's definitely worth a try. But
so are you playing this on your new TV?
Yes.
Okay.
And the HDR
so you got your new,
on that.
You got your
is
new
amazing.
TV setup. Okay. Yeah, I bet it is.
Which I wanted to get a little bit into the home theater shit later on.
I
we never usually talk about that. But
yeah, I figure we could talk about these, kind of mix it all together with what's being played and stuff like that. Because I mean, I bought a new TV myself for next gen stuff. So yeah, I feel you.
So yeah.
Okay.
What else I got? Darksiders Genesis. So Darksiders Genesis, I don't really have a whole lot to say about Darksiders Genesis, because this is one of those games, if I really get pissed off at a game, I'll just like immediately uninstall. I won't even close the game. I'll just go, if you're on Xbox, right? You hit the Xbox button and you press start when you're over the game, and you have an option to uninstall. I uninstalled that shit immediately. Didn't even close the game.
You did that with Darksiders?
I did that with Darksiders. So
really,
Darksiders, it's one of those series. It's one of those series where it always looks interesting, and I always want to play it. And I've tried every single one of them, and every time I start playing them, I just get annoyed because the actual combat is just so simple, and it's just way too simple, and it just doesn't feel good. And a lot of times, like your attacks and then their reactions and how much damage you're doing and everything just never really lines up, and it just doesn't feel good. I'm used to, like, when I think about like really great combat, I'm thinking of like Ninja Gaiden Black and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
or Ninja Gaiden Black and everything. So it's just like, I'm always looking for that. So if it doesn't really feel like that, I just get annoyed. And I
think
don't.
Darksiders 2 I like, and then Darksiders 3 is kind of almost Dark Soulsy combat a little bit.
Darksiders 2 is pretty good. That's the one I lasted the longest in. The first one I remember playing on 360, and after jumping around with War's big ass or whatever, I was like, nah, I'm good.
Dude, I can't remember who it was that said this, but I cannot stand the design of War.
Yeah, because, I don't like his design either. I really don't.
I think it was some reviewer or something. It's like, I think it was Yahtzee from. You ever watch Zero Punctuation?
Yeah, Ben.
Yeah, he's
Ben
like
Croshaw
somebody started drawing and never stopped.
Yes,
he's just
exactly.
He has too much shit on him.
God, he makes Dom and Marcus and all them from Gears of War look like fucking Duke Skellington or something. It's crazy, man. He's way too huge. The other three though look pretty good, and I tried Darksiders 3. I got annoyed about that too because it felt like God of War. It felt like Dark Souls pacing, but with like Kratos's fucking blades of chaos and everything. So I'm using the blades of chaos in a Dark Souls setting. So I'm like, I have these blades, I'm ready to fucking go. Like, all right, cool. And I go up and I get smacked, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, let me mash this button. Hit him a bunch of times. It doesn't really do a whole lot of damage, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not gonna fuck with this.
Darksiders 3 another go. I have it sealed, but it's on Game Pass, so there's no point in me opening it.
Yeah, I tried. But
let's transition into you. Okay, Darksiders did not do it for you.
I
actually have Genesis as well, and I haven't given it more than a couple minutes.
You can try it, but the thing about Genesis runs like 4K 30, and it can't keep the 30. And I'm like,
I wonder
if you can't even.
Systems. I'm sure it could.
Oh my god, it can't hold it at all. That shit was so choppy and so bad. And anytime there's like when you first start, you're in this desert and you're on this overlooking mountain that's like looking over this kingdom that's under siege or whatever. So when you go on that mountain pass and just like it starts chugging, and when you're actually playing, it starts chugging again. And I'm just like, look, if you can't even keep a steady 30, don't put it at 4K, man. Like, come on.
Yeah, turn it down a bit.
I just got annoyed. And then like there's like this mechanic where you can when you can do assassinations or whatever or like executions. The thing is you only have to hit them like 2 times, and then the little execution thing comes up, but then your transition into and out of it just feels so like weird and staccato. So I shoot him 2 times, and then I just kind of like walk over to him, and then I hit the button, and then he does the same execution over and over. Like, you can do it so easily, but then they don't have any variation in it, so it doesn't feel good,
Yeah, I got you.
And there's no like smooth, there's no smooth, smooth transition into it and out of it. So you're just like, it's so janky. It feels so terrible. I just gave up. I was like, nah, this is going straight to the shit pile.
This is not for you.
Not
that was a Game Pass. You tried that on, right?
Game Pass, yep.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was on Game Pass. I have a physical copy of that too, but yeah, I know it's on Game Pass. So
I like that movie that showed up though.
We'll skip Cold War for now. You have Call of Duty Cold War, but I want to talk to you about that too.
Yeah.
Move on to your next one, which I have played as well, and I think I talked about it.
Control Cloud Edition.
Oh no, I didn't talk about it, but I did play it.
Yes. So I don't really have a whole lot here because I just played the demo, and the demo's like 5 minutes long. I'm really impressed with this, actually.
I was shocked at how well it ran.
It did run really well.
I tried. It was blurry as hell, but
I tried the graphical version and the performance version or whatever. The 2 different settings. Obviously, if I was actually playing this and actually buying it, I would play performance because you'd want it to feel as smooth as possible. I mean, you're already doing this over a network connection. I don't know why you would choose the slower, sloppier one, but
and what we're talking about, listeners, because we kind of jumped into this, is Control on the Switch.
Yes.
So it's not a native game on Switch. You have to stream it over the internet. So it's this, and Hitman is going to be that way as well. And in Japan, you have Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Resident Evil 7 that have been doing this for a while.
Right. About 2 years now, I think. It came out like 2 years ago. So it's very interesting. It works it works really well as a proof of concept.
It worked better than I thought.
Yeah, much better than I thought. I would not pay for that because even though it does look really good. Well, when I say look really good, I mean like
it looks good for Switch.
Right for Switch. Now, this is obviously it doesn't look like it's running on a Switch. It looks like it's running on like a PC, but the resolution is super low, very very low.
Well, that's just probably so they can stream it easily.
Right, exactly. And like the color depth is also really really low, which probably has to do with the bit rate of the actual video stream. But when you're playing, like there's like really bad color banding if you know what that is or whatever. So yeah, I mean, I would prefer the performance snob that I am. I would prefer to play on like a native Series X or whatever if I'm really going to play the game, and I'm actually kind of waiting for that.
Yeah, I actually have I have Control Ultimate Edition.
Yeah, I have Control on One X, and I haven't even booted it because I'm waiting for Series X.
Well, I think we talked about this. The only upgrade version is the Ultimate Edition, though.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. And
I never got around to buying it, so I actually picked up the Ultimate Edition, but the upgrade's not out because I do want to play it, and I bet it would be a locked 30 right now. But it's like, I might as well just wait.
Yeah, might as well wait because you could probably play that shit with like ray tracing and all that stuff turned on.
It's not like I don't have other games to play right now, so
right. So I was in the same boat. I kept hearing about Control, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll wait for it to go on sale, and I did. I waited for it to go on sale like a month before the damn Ultimate Edition came out. Of course. So I bought it on sale.
I mean, I have the Ultimate Edition on PC as well. So
yeah, and I felt good about it. I was like, I got a good deal on this, and then Ultimate Edition came out for $40, and I'm like, all right, man.
You son of a bitch.
And at that time, I still haven't booted it yet. Still haven't booted it yet, and I'm just like, the same thing happened to me with Persona 5. I think I complained like a bunch about that.
You didn't get the friggin' Royal Edition yet.
I got it on sale, the original Persona 5. I was like, all right, great. Still haven't played it yet, and then the Royal Edition was fucking Royale. The Royal Edition was announced.
I think we called it Royale last week.
Yeah, but that's Persona 5 Royale. But yeah, that's it for me besides Cold War, I guess.
Yeah, so let's talk about Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War.
Yeah.
I just realized it has like 3 titles.
Yes, it does.
So, you primarily played... actually, you know what? Technically, I have played one multiplayer match. So my buddy, Kia, who has never been on this episode, but I'm trying to get on, he came over in the day that it came out, and he wanted to check out the new system, so... but he had bought the game for PlayStation 4, so we did pop that in, and of course it installs multiplayer first.
Right.
So we did do one multiplayer match. It seemed very Call of Duty to me.
Yeah.
So
I could get more in depth of that, but yeah. And you're playing on Series X, correct?
So yeah, after that I gameflied it. So and then I popped it in, and then it's like, this game needs 200 and some odd gigs, and I'm like, what the hell? Yep. No, it does not. So it queues up all these packs for like Warzone and all this other bullshit, and I'm like, no. I'm like, so you can go into the store page and select just campaign. Just the campaign alone, though, is 130 gigabytes.
That's a lot.
Which is stupid. There's no reason that should be 130 gigabytes, in my opinion, at least. But reuse some damn assets. Like, you don't have to like keep making the same thing.
I think the reason why it's still huge, because it's huge before because of redundant data or whatever. To keep load times low, they'll just like have the same textures.
Yeah, multiple things in a lot of places. Yeah.
I think that they didn't actually what's it called?
Optimize?
They didn't. And I might have lost words here.
Yeah, that's fine.
They didn't actually get that up and running on Series X. They didn't actually do all the
that's my guess. I'm guessing
do.
It's a time crunch situation.
Yeah.
And that they had to pretty much run with the same code they had, and they just said, you know what? Instead of making 2 versions,
right,
let's just run with this version and enhance the resolution and
doubled that 60 to 120 and then slapped it on that shit. So.
Yep. So, but yeah, I did download the campaign,
which is what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't optimize it for Series X.
I've played 3 missions on the campaign so far, and I will say, I typically rent Call of Duties to play the campaign, and then I'm kind of done.
Did you do that for Modern Warfare?
I did, and I actually... Did you play through the campaign on Modern Warfare?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so, like, I didn't finish it because I got to a point where I'm just like, okay, this is bullshit. Like, there are parts in the Modern Warfare campaign where it's just like you have to sneak around, or they're trying to do, like, some dramatic-ass moment. I'm like, this is fucking Call of Duty. This is not why I play this game. I play this game, like... I don't go watch Expendables, whatever, to see drama. You
Yeah.
know, I want to see some shit blowing up. I want to shoot guns. So that's why. But I will say this is probably the best campaign I've played since World War II, which I actually think has a good campaign. Infinity.
Wait, are you saying
Infinite Warfare?
WW2 or are you saying World at War?
Oh, WW2.
Okay, gotcha.
I think WW2 actually has a pretty decent campaign.
I've never played a campaign on that one. I played
It's
the
decent.
beta for that and then skipped the whole thing altogether.
Yeah, so I like the campaign though. It's the best campaign since then, and it's my cat has his arm stretched under the door. He's trying to it's like I hear people talking in there. So, but yeah, it's good stuff though. It's pretty. It runs well. I'm playing it on Series X, of course. It looks amazing.
Right.
It sounds amazing. I got this nice sound bar. It's nice and boomy. I would like to play it at night, but I don't want to keep the house up, so I'll probably play it tomorrow.
I definitely want to see what it looks like with 120 hertz turned on. I played mostly multiplayer. I haven't touched the campaign at all.
So the campaign's only 60, right?
Yes, I believe so. As far
We'll
as
have
I
to look
know.
into that. We'll have to look into that. I know multiplayer tends to drop, texture quality and stuff like that around to try to
Yeah.
keep that 60
Yeah.
on last gen. So I think the multiplayer is the only one you can get 120 frames, but I'm not positive. I've only tried
I
Ori.
think that's correct.
I've only tried Ori for the 120 frames.
Because Gears also does that too.
Yeah, I didn't bother with Gears, so I did.
I
The
definitely,
campaign for that.
I definitely want to try that out. I want to see how the HDR will look because the HDR looked amazing on my old bum ass TV.
When we circle around to mine, I don't know if I put Gears on there or not, but I did play it. So, but anyway, what do you think about the multiplayer? I know that's what you played.
Yeah, so I guess quick impressions on that. I loved Modern Warfare a lot. I liked the single player a lot. It was probably one of the few times I really had a desire to beat the whole thing and not just out of obligation. The multiplayer, they changed, they advanced so many different things in multiplayer for Modern Warfare. I loved being able to mount on corners and everything like that. And in Black Ops, if any longtime Call of Duty players, they took out pretty much all of that. But there's kind of
I think there's a few of them.
Yeah, so there's a reason for that because this was kind of like a stopgap year. They ran into some trouble and they ended up having to get Treyarch to pull Black Ops to come out this year instead of next year like it was supposed to, because there was a different one that's supposed to come out this year and that didn't happen. So there's a lot of stuff that's they're using the older version of the engine. They're not using the new.
I can
engine
tell
they had
that.
for Modern Warfare.
I can tell that just from playing Modern Warfare last year on Xbox One X and this one now on Series X.
Yeah.
I always want to say that Modern Warfare looked better.
Modern Warfare does look better graphically, and the lighting is also much better, and texture and everything. This one looks really good because
it looks great.
I mean, yeah, it's a new game and it looks really good. And they've been using that engine for a while, so it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad. It just doesn't look realistic.
They've been
Black Ops,
tacking on that same engine since like 2005.
Yeah,
and they've just been kind of incrementally making it better and better and better.
So I mean, it still looks really good. Definitely doesn't look terrible, but it doesn't look realistic.
No, not at all.
The colors and everything, it just doesn't. It looks kind of cartoony. The way that the characters and the weapons look, the way that all the environments look, and how overly colorful everything is. It just has this kind of cartoony look to it, which isn't bad. It's still, I mean, it's not bad. But I hate that I can't post up on walls and cover anymore to steady my aim.
You got used to that.
I hate that. And then they took out all the really useful mid battle upgrades you could get, like Dead Silence and whatnot. Oh god, Dead Silence was so amazing. They got rid of Gunfight, the kind of 2-on-2 game mode that you used to be able to do in Modern Warfare. They got rid of that. I mean, they put zombies in there, and I know a lot of people love zombies, but I don't really care about zombies.
Again, I was talking to my friend Kia on going on your, this is definitely not. This is kind of like the stopgap Call of Duty. Mm-hmm. He was saying he played through the campaign because I was asking him how long it was, and he said it wraps up abruptly.
Yeah.
It's like they
Sounds
weren't.
about right.
They wanted to do more, but then they just threw that shit together near the end. So I'm
Sounds
like,
about
cool,
right.
works out for me.
Yeah,
Can free up 130 gigs on my Xbox. So
I'll definitely do that. I have Modern Warfare and Black Ops on there, so my hard drive is screaming right now.
it's gone. It's gone forever.
It's taking up at least half of a terabyte right now, which is
That's
crazy.
ridiculous.
And of course, Warzone. They really hyped up Warzone, but it just links you to the Modern Warfare Warzone. There is no new Warzone. In case anybody was thinking that there's some new Warzone.
That's probably why it was wanting to download for me.
Yeah.
Because it was wanting to download everything, and I was just like, no.
Yeah, it's just downloading the Modern Warfare version of Warzone. But
damn.
yeah, that's all I got for that. I
That's
guess.
all you got. So I mean, yeah, that's one of the new things I played. I did get new systems this week. I guess if it's not apparent, I'm the 50% that got the thing.
Yeah.
Not for lack of trying. Dwight has
Definitely
been,
not for the lack of trying.
he's been out there. You know, the struggle is real.
Roaming the streets.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully not in the streets. Speaking of in the streets, I did tell you when I walked out with the PlayStation 4, some guy offered me, it was like
Fine.
$750 for it or something. Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
just like, "I'll give you $700," and I'm like, "No." He's just like, "How much?" I was like, $1,000. I would have straight gave it to him for $1,000.
I'm sure there are people that would have given you that.
I'm sure there would. And but the thing is, he's like, "Why so high?" I'm like, "Because I didn't buy it to sell it to you." I'm just like, if I'm gonna sell it,
the damn thing.
exactly. If I'm gonna sell it, I'm gonna make a profit on it, you know.
Yeah.
So,
because then you
but,
still have to get another one.
yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna buy another one. So, I mean, it would have just paid for my PlayStation and my Xbox at that point. So, but I digress. So, what was that? There was like a weird pop on my end. I don't know. We'll see if it pops up in the recording. It pops up. So yeah, I'll just start with the PlayStation side of things because I did play a little bit more on Xbox. So Astro's Playroom, the game that comes with it pre-installed, is probably the best thing on it right now. Fight me, seriously, like it is amazing. It's short, which works out for me.
Oh, yeah, that's
but
good. That's good.
It's like 4 or 5. I don't remember how many exactly platforming levels, and they're all based around the internals of the PlayStation.
Very nice.
So like there's like a solid state drive level, there's like a processor level and stuff like that, and every single one of them also uses the DualSense 5, or I guess it's just a DualSense. Yeah, it's not, yeah.
The DualSense 5.
The DualSense 5. That sounds like a
The 6-axis 3.
A DualSense 5 sounds like a retro R&B group, doesn't it not? But yeah, I mean it demonstrates how that works very well. So you can get like a bow and arrow, and there's like physical resistance on the trigger when you pull it back.
I definitely want to try that.
It's interesting. It's the game that uses it the most. It's kind of I don't know who said this. I was talking to, but it's almost like the Wii Sports of
Yeah.
PlayStation 5.
The previous
Yeah,
episode.
that was you.
Yeah.
That was you. Okay, see, I was like, someone said that.
Or Link's crossbow training. Maybe not, but
Maybe not that. Yeah.
maybe not that. But yeah,
I'm
the
a
Wii
beast
Sports
at some Link's crossbow training for some reason. Like I get in the zone and you will not defeat me. But yeah, so Astro's Playroom, I got that. I got Sackboy. I had to buy that on. We remember our PS4, our PS5. I was like, man, who gives a shit? Yeah, I bought it. So I had to buy it on PS4 and get the upgrade though because I could not find a PS5 copy anywhere for some reason.
It's interesting.
And I don't think it was because Sackboy was that popular. I think they just didn't send them in time.
Yeah, probably that. Because I haven't really heard of like accessories or games selling out like the systems are. But yeah.
I will say Sackboy is the most generic 3D platformer ever. Not ever. Well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe
so
it
you're
gets
saying
more
it's
interesting.
this generation's knack.
There you go.
Okay.
It's not bad. Astro's Playroom is way better, though.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was going to be more akin to like a Mario 3D World, which it does have that sort of isometric pulled back camera almost. Not really isometric, but it's just so cookie cutter. That's my only real problem with it. I'm fine, but I feel like I'm going through the motions. It is not difficult at all. It's meant for kids. It's good if you have kids, but there are better 3D platformers to be had on it.
Do you create stuff in this one?
So you don't create stuff, at least not that I've gotten so far. But you can buy and find things for Sackboy, like different threads. You can make them different colors and costumes and all this other honky.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is kind of weird that they took that out. Even though me in particular, I've never really cared about that kind of game.
I don't care for regular Little Big
loved
Planet.
it.
Yeah. A lot of people did.
Yeah.
I don't. Not my thing.
So
but what I was
surprising.
seeing, I was like, I want 3D platforming, and
Yeah.
I got it. But
I mean, I guess it could work. I mean, Minecraft Dungeons works, so
it does work. Correct. I'm just hoping it gets a little more in depth. That's my thing. I deleted Ghost of Tsushima for some reason. It just says of Tsushima on the thing.
yeah, I see that.
But yeah, so, I didn't mean to do that.
Did you ever try the multiplayer for that?
That's actually what I tried.
Okay, sweet.
But I'll do that last. Actually, out of my PlayStation
Damn
stuff.
it.
I have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Remastered. I did not try Miles Morales at all. I said I'm going to go through the remaster first. I hate that I have to choose, and I mentioned this to you, I hate that I have to choose between 60 frames or ray tracing and advanced lighting, because the ray tracing is super nice, and the lighting is incredible in the better, like, the fidelity mode, but their performance is so good in the performance mode. I'm just like, damn, can't we just find a happy medium in here somewhere? Like no,
put them
it's
together and put it at like 1080p or something.
seriously, because it looks so good. And even to this day, I'm mainly playing performance, but if I'm just swinging around, I just want to see how good it looks. I'll switch it temporarily. I hate that I keep flip-flopping back and forth. I can't make a decision.
Yeah.
And finally, Ghost of Tsushima. That's like my PS4 game played on PS5. I did that. I did pop in Dragon Quest Builders 2 and a few others, but Ghost of Tsushima, I finally did try the multiplayer with for the third time this episode. Mentioned friend of the show, Kia. So, because he has it, and I'm just like, hey, let's give this a go. Not only does it look better and play better on PS5, actually, you know what? I take that back. It plays better. It doesn't really look any better, but it looked good to start off.
They
with.
moved up the cap to 60 frames, right? The frame rate cap.
It is super smooth. If it's not 60, it's very close, and it's stable at least.
I saw I saw that for some. Excuse me. I saw that for some of the PS4, like the Sony exclusive, PS4 games. They moved that cap up to 60. So I think they did it for that. The Last of Us.
God of War, I think, was one as well.
Yeah, God of War.
And God of War, it would be so good to replay, but it's just like such a long game, and I don't really have time to go through this thing again. So,
God of War, I started playing it to test out my my TV when I first got it. Which, by the way, the TV that I got specifically was the X900H or whatever, that Sony X900H that it's been in like all these reviews and shit, and the HDR looked amazing in God of War. Amazing. And
Now that you have a proper HDR set,
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
actually see the difference in a lot of things.
yeah, now I'm like, I get it. I get it.
Friggin'
now.
HDR in some of the games I'm going to talk about Spider-Man for one is like, damn. That's what I'm saying. The extra lighting mode is just like so good looking. Ghost of Tsushima is also a really good HDR game. But, so yeah, the multiplayer. Have you ever seen the movie? And this is a long shot, but maybe Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
Of course.
Okay,
That's like one of my wife's favorite movies.
That narrator that's like that talks over is like the chosen one. So like there's this narrator that goes along with you. He's like pretty much telling the story because it has its own little story, the multiplayer. There's like multiple ghosts. That fucking narrator sounds just like the Kung Pao narrator.
Oh, that's terrible.
And I can't
that'll take me out of
not
it.
think of, every time he's talking about the enemies, I kept expecting him to go, and they are evil and bad.
See, that's what happens sometimes when they have like that accent in English. Is just like
it sounds like a white guy trying to act like, and it probably is. Let's just be real. But or who knows? I don't know. But the narrator does kind of take me away from it a little bit. But I don't really get what's going on with the story. I didn't really pay attention. All I know is most missions are like rather territory control, or kill all the enemies, or save the hostages. It's that typical sort of thing. You play as you have 4 classes. I'm gonna see if I can remember them. You have a samurai. I know because Ski was playing as him. That's who you essentially are in Ghost of Tsushima. An assassin, which is who I'm playing. He's the more sneaky guy.
Oh, okay.
I tend to like stealth type stuff, so I'm playing him. There's a bow type character, one that's better at long range. I don't remember their class name. And a Ronin is the last one, which he's kind of like a support character almost. You only get one class until you get to level 10. We made it to like level 9, so we didn't quite get there.
So
I like
you
my
choose the
class,
one that
though.
you start with, though.
You choose the one that you start with, and you get some of your single player stuff transfers over, like your outfits and such, but you start off pretty basic.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
And then every mission you get like more or less like loot drops. So like my guy now, instead of having the default bow, I have like a blowgun that can like poison people, and you can get new abilities and such. Like my guy, all his abilities are like stealth based, so like I can run faster without alerting people. My assassinations are way faster than his assassinations, that sort of thing. And he has way more health than I do, so I die hella quick.
What was it? Can you get to it from the main menu, or do you have to?
Yes.
Okay.
You can get to it from the main game. There's like a quit out into, I think it's called Tales of Tsushima or something like that.
Gotcha. Well, that's cool.
It's cool though. I really like it. We had a lot of fun. Mainly, we would go into a mission and then like wouldn't pay attention to what we were supposed to be doing, and then like we'd just be like, "Oh yeah, kill the dudes." Yeah, don't kill the dudes immediately. Like save these people first. We fucked up a lot, but it was our own fault, and that was kind of the fun of it. So you can do it with up to 4 players, but it was just me and him, and I kind of think with friends is the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's
true for if you played it with rando. I mean, yeah, it is. But I think if you played it with randos, you'd probably not like it.
Be throwing that dual sense.
Yeah, you'd be like, fuck this.
But I definitely have to play. I haven't touched. I don't have Ghost of Tsushima. I was hoping that was going to be on sale around this time.
It was $20 on Walmart earlier today, but because I was actually going to pick it up for somebody, but by the time I actually got around to it, what is back here? Oh, I found a watch. Hey. Yeah, it had gone back up. Like that version had gone out. So
I need that, and I need Last of Us 2. So
Last of Us 2, in my opinion, is hella overrated, but that's a story for another day.
I feel like there was a lot of backlash about that when it came out.
I would, yeah, we're not going to get into Last of Us 2. Because I would just be like, oh my god, really? This fucking game again? But it's worth playing.
Yeah, I stayed away from any kind of like story spoilers. I've lasted this long, so I definitely want to get that on sale. I'm sure it's on sale on PS4 right now.
Probably. Actually, yeah, I think it's like $30 somewhere right now. But anyway, finally, Xbox Series X, outside of Call of Duty, I did get my games I bought were Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Yakuza 7.
Of course.
I have not played Yakuza 7 on this system for more than a couple minutes. I've been playing it on my 1X in my bedroom. It looks the damn same. Like it may be a slightly higher resolution, maybe run smoother, but to me, that sort of game is fine.
I think
love
it runs
though.
at 60 on Series X. I don't remember if it does on 1X or not.
But I can't really even tell because it's turn based. I mean, you can move around obviously, but I think it runs just fine on 1X. This is a weird ass game. It's a weird ass Japanese game, so hey, I'm cool with it. I like the fact that they directly reference Dragon Quest. They don't like beat around the bush. They outright say Dragon Quest.
I'm definitely want to get into that too. I'm looking forward to the fact that I don't have to know, Kiryu's whole like history to be able to jump in.
And that's why I said Judgment last time. When we had our games of the generation, because it's like this you can start fresh. You don't have to. And it's Yakuza Like a Dragon. I keep calling it Yakuza 7, which is its Japan title. I understand why they changed the name here. They didn't want to throw people off with that 7.
Yeah, which I think that's they should have made it into like a new sub series or whatever, as opposed to like. But I've always I did play Yakuza 0 for a little bit. I like it, but I don't really have the time to play through 6 of them, or
No,
actually
I
7
understand.
of them.
Dude,
So,
I haven't even finished. 6, regular 6. So, yeah, no one got that kind of time.
Yeah.
They're long ass games too. This one's apparently even longer, but
damn,
I do like the battle system. It's cool.
I liked it. I played
I
a
lo-
demo, the Japanese demo, a little while back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know in the demo if not you can just put it on auto, but like yeah, you can literally because it's almost like Mario Party where you select a attack or whatever, and then you have to input a button. It's usually timed, or you have to mash a button quickly. But you can put it on auto like Dragon Quest and just let them go, and you just have to hit the button prompts when they pop up. And that's awesome because I don't have to sit there and fucking think about it. So it just goes. But you run into all these wacky characters and shit. It's if you're into it, if you're into weird Japanese stuff, or even just goofy ass writing in general, you'll love it. I know there's a screenshot I took.
Isn't it like a part of the story, I guess, or the battle system that in his head, it's the battle system and how the characters look is just in his head is because he likes Dragon
if you
Quest so
play
much?
as a hero class, yes, that's part of your thing. When you start a battle, to him he perceives the enemies as like enemies,
Right. It's like
and not
evil
how they actually
monsters
are.
and everything. It's interesting.
Because he gets like a bat, and that's like his, he's the chosen hero that can wield that item. But there's a part, and I took a screenshot of this just because I thought it was so funny, where it's like someone called someone a bitch or something like that, and the character's like, "Who's he talking to?" And they're like looking at each other, and this is the literal line. He said, "Who is he talking to? How would I know? Anyone could be a bitch these days." So I'm just like, that sort of thing is all throughout this game, and it's like it made me laugh. So that's the literal line. But yeah, I mean the voice acting is great. I'm listening to it in English. I know you're not, but hey, those voice actors are good. George Takei does a fantastic job on his own, but even the other actors are fantastic.
I'll probably try it out. There was I guess a game that I played recently that I was actually surprised that the English dub was actually pretty good was Genshin Impact. Even though I complain about Genshin Impact on for other reasons,
we got to do it every day.
The dub was actually pretty good, and I think the reason why it was pretty good is because the Japanese language track and the English language track are both dubs. It was like originally Chinese or whatever, so it doesn't. There's really no. They're both equally wonky, I guess.
I got you. It's like freaking Dragon Quest 11 is in English to start off with, so it's just like the Japanese is the dub.
Yeah, that's kind of like Lost Odyssey was like that. Lost Odyssey, the English was the original track and the Japanese was the dub. And I remember I started playing it in Japanese. I was like, "Oh my god, this is terrible!" Like their voices didn't match like at all, and not just like lip flaps and stuff. Just like the sound of the character didn't match like the actual character like at all, which that never usually happens. It's usually like the English language tracks that's like way off. But yes, I switched to English and kept it on English the whole time. It's like the only game I've ever done that for.
Ghost of Tsushima, the lips don't match, but the Japanese does sound good.
Yeah.
I mean, the Japanese sounds fine though, but I mean that's how it's originally done. Okay, and I know we've been talking about games being played forever, but the last thing on my list, well, I did play more. Well, I guess you know what? I'm gonna lie. I did play Ori at 120 frames. That's beautiful, beautiful and wonderful.
Definitely,
that's all I'll
can't
say
wait
about
to
that.
try that out.
Yep, that's all I'll say about that. It's the only 120 hertz game that I played. But lastly, for real this time, as Assassin's Creed Valhalla, that was my big thing. I played this on the Xbox One S and the Xbox Series S, so I've seen both
ends of the spectrum.
Both ends of the spectrum in this case. I was surprised at how good it ran on the One S, though. I mean, it still runs like butthole, like you would expect, but it was very playable. If you had a 1S and you wanted to play this game, you could do it.
Yeah.
Not the way I would recommend, but you could do it.
We're definitely at the end of the. This is that time where a lot of these really big games coming out of 1S are starting to struggle a little bit.
Show their age.
It looks
I remember
really good. It looks really good.
Jedi Fallen Order coming out and Digital Foundry ripping it a new one. And I actually tried it on 1S not that long ago and was surprised at how well they patched the hell out of that game.
Yeah,
it actually runs okay. It runs and looks okay on 1S, but this game did struggle. I would notice like several obvious things. Like I think I sent you a picture and Alejandro a picture. It was the same time of day, same everything.
Yeah.
Like the shadows across that guy's face were just not there.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That kind of reminds me of my days of playing on my I bought like a laptop for school back in 2006, 2007, and I played the original Assassin's Creed on my laptop. And it had, at the time, it was like a Core 2 Duo with the HD Radeon 3450 in there. So I was playing Assassin's Creed, but I had to turn like everything off, and I had to turn the the resolution down to 720 or whatever, and I mean I was able to play it. I beat the entire original Assassin's Creed on that PC in between classes and stuff like that at that time when I was in Georgia, but yeah, I mean it works. So
it wasn't ideal, but it works.
That's kind of what
matters.
What that, because I saw it also, I saw it on Digital Foundry and I saw that picture you had. That's what it reminded me of. It just looked like a PC game where you just turn everything off, pretty much.
So a lot of the my TV fixes this, and they had this on Digital Foundry as well. A lot of people are saying they're having screen tearing issues on the Xbox ones, or in general. I'm not having that. My TV's fixing it. But I mean, I understand that not everyone's going to have that.
The VRR.
Yeah. So I'm not having any problems. I think it runs fine. It looks great. I'm enjoying the characters, and that's kind of where I think Assassin's Creed lives or dies. The last 3 games, at least 4 games, have had fantastic protagonists. That's why I can't stand 3. I think that guy is just a fucking snore fest. Like I cannot stand Connor. I think his name is. He's so boring. This guy is awesome. His name is Eivor. He's a Viking, of course. That's kind of what the whole thing is. I love the combat in this game. The skill tree is much different. They changed a lot of stuff from Odyssey. It's not a copy paste sort of situation.
Oh, that's good.
And I'm really enjoying it. It's good. I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and go into what Assassin's Creed is and all this shit, but I mean, if you were on the fence, I could vouch for it as a fan. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's what I've played the most on all these next gen consoles, all 2 of them. But I've put like 11 hours into it. Everything else maybe has 2 or 3 tops on it. So
I like what
whenever I
I've
have the
heard
chance,
I like what I've heard about how they changed up the side quests. Like I like how the side quests work from what I've heard. I
feel like the side quests in this one actually benefit you. They're not just there. Not just there to give you money. They actually contribute to your, because it's about building a settlement. They did steal that from 3, but they work so much better here than it did in 3.
It's not like a list of busy work just to get you to walk around
exactly.
the map.
Exactly. It's not a list. I mean, if you want to walk around the map, it's up to you,
right?
And your prerogative. So actually, as long as I've been playing it, I have not made it that far into the main story. But my character is nice and dope looking. He has awesome weapons and shit. So I'm happy with it.
I do like that. If it's an open world game that has, even if it's a really large area, if it has like the more focused side missions, then I really don't mind that, because that's kind of like how Horizon Zero Dawn was like. It had like side quests and stuff too, but they weren't really as patty as like a lot of other games would be, like GTA or something like that. So yeah. I mean, I might actually.
This is nice and open. It feels significantly smaller than Odyssey, and that's mainly because the sailing bits are mainly relocated to like rivers and stuff. There's not like a big, huge open sea like you can get in Odyssey. It might be the same size, but it feels much smaller and more focused.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, I might actually try that out.
But that's been it for me. So the episode's over, and no, I'm joking. So we have a few topics of discussion right now. Let's just keep going. Home theater business.
Yes.
Tell me about your Sony. I know we're jumping the gun, but we're kind of still there. So
yeah. So the right now I have that Sony X900H. recently got. It supports 120 hertz. They just released.
Your TV is better than mine,
The
and I'm jealous.
It should. I mean, there's a lot of TVs that support that. Well, there's a couple, not a lot. There's a couple that do. I guess the 120 hertz is not the hard part, but having VRR with 120 hertz and 4K and the Dolby and all that stuff. There's not very many TVs that do that. Right now, I think the only ones that have all of that is the Samsung Q80T, the Sony X900H, and then there's like the LG CX and stuff like that. Yeah, the really expensive ones.
The OLEDs do it.
Yeah,
but I mean
the really expensive OLEDs all do it.
I don't have OLED money.
Yeah,
so.
Me neither.
my QLED has VRR and it could do 1440p at 120 hertz, which is
right.
I mean that was good enough.
I think that's going to be good for most people. And right now, they just put out the update to enable that 4K at 120, and it turns out that there's an issue with it gets blurry. There's like an issue with
I remember reading something about that.
Like text and stuff like that, and fine details get blurry. And Sony has acknowledged it, so they're putting out an update. They kind of have to, because they've pushed the X900H as, hey, this is our PS5 TV. Buy this.
They
TV.
have it bundled with PS5s in some areas. Yeah.
God, I wish I would have got one of those, but whatever.
Seriously,
I wish I'd known about that. But I got it. When it was like $500 off or whatever, so I was really happy.
You got a good deal on it. You got it under $1,000. You did pretty good.
Yeah. So I was really happy about that. Definitely an amazing TV. When I first turned this thing on, and it's the 65-inch, and like before, I had a 50-inch Toshiba TV that supported HDR. It was 4K and supported HDR, but that HDR was shit. Like the only game that ever looked good
has been well documented
HDR was Gears 5. So, and I mean, I paid $200.
Gears 5 looks incredible on the Series X, by the way. I did play that.
Yeah, I paid $230 for that. 2 or 3 years ago. So I got a good deal on it, but it was not a great TV. It was not a great TV.
It did its job for a little while. So hey, you did all right.
So now with this one, I tried out HDR and everything, and I was blown away. I was like, oh, that's the fuck it's supposed to look like. Because before, I would turn on HDR and everything would just get like gray and washed out and gross. And especially in like Resident Evil 2, that remake, it looked really terrible on my TV, like really terrible. Like when you go into any dark areas in the police station, you couldn't see shit. Everything was just gray. But now, it still doesn't really look that good on this TV. But I've heard it's been established that Resident Evil 2 actually does not have very good HDR.
There are some games that don't. Back on Assassin's Creed for a second, they're like, I had to bump everything up to almost double what the default values were, because it was like dark as shit. I'm just like, why does everything look so fucking drab? Like this is like, early 360 like brown and gray shit. Like I had to turn the colors up. Like I mean, it was not good.
See, you can dig around on
now. It's great though
in YouTube and. There's like some games, they call it like fake HDR or whatever, but I think it's just like some games that just don't implement it very well.
They don't do it right.
But I could tell you, Gears 5 definitely does. God of War absolutely does. That shit looks fucking amazing.
I'm telling you, Ni no Kuni 2 is a hidden gem. If you have Ni no Kuni 2,
I did get that. I did get it.
Get to the desert level in particular, because this is the one, and that's one where you can turn off HDR in the menus. Turn it on and off.
Oh, that's interesting.
Just turn it on and off in the desert desert level, and you're like, holy shit, this game is totally. It goes from like being sand to like vibrant, beautiful.
It's really amazing. If you have a decent HDR TV, it really is amazing, and not just much more vibrant colors, but they always say, it's an even blacker black or whatever. Like it gets really dark. And it sounds funny. And I know my wife always made fun of that because anytime we watched a Marvel movie, I always wanted to see the Dolby Atmos version of it or whatever. And she was like, oh, because the little commercial beforehand was like, oh, the blackest blacks and everything. And she would always laugh about it. It's like, when I go back to look at my Toshiba now, because I still have it, it just looks gray and washed out and gross, like all the time. And it just... I'm so used to seeing it look just amazing that I go back to my other TV. I'm like, oh my God, what have I been doing all this time? And then
My TV I had before actually looked okay. It just didn't run at the the hertz I wanted.
yeah,
It was good though.
God of War. When you look up at the sky, it actually like hurts your eyes because it's so fucking bright.
Yeah.
It is so bright. You go outside and I look up and I'm like, oh my god, man!
It was like that when I was doing Forza coming out of a tunnel. I was just like, oh shit, the sun.
Yeah, and it actually feels like you're looking at the actual sun. It's just like bright. You kind of like avert your eyes a little bit and everything, and yeah, I mean it's great. But one thing I wanted to, I guess, touch on was they never really talk about home theater setups or anything. When they talk about these gaming systems, but I have a Vizio soundbar. And it has like
I was actually gonna ask you what your sound option was.
So I have a Vizio soundbar, and it comes with a wireless sub and 2 rear speakers. So
so you got those. Okay.
Yeah, so nice. it's a 5.1, and it's their basic 5.1 setup, but it's really nice. It sounds really good. The sub's pretty good. Setting up like your damn game system for 5.1 is a pain in the ass. Like it really is. And then like testing it to make sure it works. There's no audio test for it. You turn it on, but there's no audio test. So you have no idea if it's actually working or not until like you start up a game and then like, play it, and you're not really sure if it really supports it. And it's just like, it took me forever. And you can ask my wife.
Certain games will do it, I think. Certain games do have those tests, but they should have something on the system level to have you test it out. I think.
And it doesn't explain what the options are, because you can the two main compressed audio options is going to be DTS and Dolby Digital. So it doesn't explain the difference between the two, and you have to like dig deep into all this videos and everything to see it. But DTS actually has a higher quality and it's less compressed, and it also has like a higher throughput or whatever. But not a lot of games use it. There's mostly movies and stuff that use it. Dolby Digital is what you want. The next thing is, when you put this on your TVs, there's a difference between Series X and how PS5 does a lot of this stuff. There's like when they're talking about like HDMI 2.1 and all that, it's a bandwidth issue. How much bandwidth is available to do all that? When you enable 4K and 120 and all that, there's more bandwidth that is taking up. And apparently Xbox is capped at 40 gigabits per second, and then PS5 is capped at like 32. So all that means is that if you have 120 on and you have 4K on, you're not going to be able to do like Dolby. You're not going to be able to do Dolby Vision, and you're not going to be able to have like the really high level chroma subsampling and all that other stuff. So I don't get like super into that, but
no, yeah, I understand.
You can't, like if you look on your Xbox settings, and there's all those check boxes of all the shit you can turn on, you can't turn them all on at the same time. And I can't even turn them all on at the same time because you just don't have enough bandwidth. The more shit that you turn on, there's just like a limit, so you have to turn something else on. So I can either have 4K 120 with VRR or 4K 60 with Dolby Vision. I have to like choose between the two in the settings. I can't do both.
I do love that the Xbox will tell. I mean, the PlayStation does this too. Will tell you what your TV is doing.
Yeah.
But I love that there's a HDR calibration tool built into the Xbox.
Oh my god! Thank God.
Super helpful.
It is super helpful. And it hurts your eyes when you first turn that shit on too.
Yeah, because it's like, well, it doesn't hurt you. It's like white.
Yeah, it's like, super white. It's super bright.
I know no game developer is listening to this. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe in the future we'll stop with the white transitions.
Yeah.
Any game that like transitions into white, stop it.
Oh my, please not
go to
HDR.
Black.
Yeah, please
do not go to white. Go to black.
And then,
because I literally just be like, like it's like a fucking truck is like in my face.
Or subtitles. Subtitles are fucking terrible too. I know Digital Foundry was talking about Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain. When it has auto HDR on Series X, all the
subtitles being super.
Yeah, it's like
super
fucking super bright. It's like searing into your skull or whatever. How bright it is, and it's funny because I've been using this Sony TV and I've been loving it, and I'm like, man, this shit is super bright. And they say that it's one of the dimmer TVs out there. It's like a 750 nits. And it says that the Samsung is like 1,000 or over, and Vizios are like brighter and shit. I'm like, why do you need it to be brighter than that? So, that's crazy.
So on the default version, I actually have mine set to dark.
Yeah.
Like, because my TV is hella bright.
Yeah.
Like I can't even put it on normal. It's set to dark.
I can't imagine.
It will go to like, it has like one extra. It's like dark darkest.
Yeah.
I have it set to dark, which is still fucking bright to me.
I can't even.
If I had it on bright, I would not be able to see.
This is because
ever.
the Sonys do not get that bright, and it's just like, this is dim. 'Cause this is fucking burning my eyes. I turned on the black frame insertion mode or whatever. It kind of clears up like any kind of really bad looking motion blur or anything, and also dims the screen a little bit. And you can turn up higher and it dims it even more. But I had to dim the screen a little bit like that, so I can see what the hell is going on and not get like blinded every time I go out in the sun in God of War.
I got you.
But yeah, I mean, I kind of wish they would talk more about that kind
Vizio
of stuff.
5.1 and the Sony 900H. That sounds like a pretty solid setup for the time being. So.
And maybe I can change, test that out on a Series X or PS5 at some point to see how it goes.
At some point. So yeah, listeners, if you want a good setup, that's what you got. I have a TCL 6 Series QLED and a Polk S2 soundbar. So I mean,
those 6 Series are good. Those are pretty good TVs.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with it so far. But moving on, I was looking at the time. I was like, yeah, we need to get moving on. So we have not made much progress. But yeah, so I think we've covered Xbox and PS5 series. Actually, you know what? We really haven't. Did you have any big questions about Xbox Series X or PS5? I know.
Kind of about any.
We've all heard the same
things.
things.
Notice that I've been missing because I've been hearing a lot about, and I think I spoke about this a little bit. How PS5 they changed their UI completely. I mean, which is nice.
I will say it took me forever to figure out how to turn it off with a controller.
Yeah.
You cannot just hold the button down anymore.
I heard that. That's kind of
you have
weird.
to just tap the button. I love the DualSense 5. I love it. I do not like where the PlayStation button is. It's like lower and harder to get to. You have to I keep finding myself hitting the mic button instead.
Oh,
and it's really stupid. Yep, I'll get used to it eventually. I don't like it though.
Yeah, apparently there's a lot of features that are missing that were on PS4 before. Just like a lot of little things. Like
I haven't really got into the weeds of it quite yet, but folders.
Yeah, no folders.
Give me some folders.
Yeah,
I'll pop something in and try it out, and I was like, I don't really care to have this or mess with it too much. But the little icon stays. I'm like, no, go away. I don't want this.
They'll get there eventually. See, that's the thing.
They will.
Like PS4, PS3, of course, was mature, and then for PS4 they started over again. So they had to bring all these settings back, and it took them a while. And just like on Xbox, it took them a while to bring back all the 360, features.
Yeah.
That they kind of they started over. It's not a mature.
I mean, there's already been an 860 megabyte UI patch for the PS5. I don't really know what it's done.
Yeah.
I just know it's there.
So
I think it's just stability, really.
Yeah.
It's snappy though. It's super snappy. Both are incredibly snappy. I will say. You will love the UI. There's no waiting. You hit go, it goes. Getting into the PlayStation Store, oh my god, is a revelation.
That's
you
all
literally
I care
go over
about
to
right
it.
now.
You hit down, and you're there. You're there immediately.
That's all I care about
fast.
because the PS4 store, it was fucking terrible. I curse that shit out every fucking day.
This is a million times better. This fixes every problem. I still don't really like the store layout that much, but that's not a problem. Really, that's a me problem, not a
right,
system problem. So Xbox. If you have an Xbox currently, it's the same thing. It's the same thing, just faster.
I like how it, and even on One X, it feels so much smoother and snappier than it did before. And I can't wait to try it out on the Series X. I like the store. I like how it works, but I don't really like how it's laid out either.
I don't mind it. I actually preferred it a little bit before this last update. The icons were smaller and there was more stuff on screen.
Yes, I hate that all the icons
are
huge.
I have to.
They're so huge.
I feel like I have to scrub through more to get to anything now.
I turn off the auto video and the auto sound and everything too because playing the video, even though it worked really well, it just it takes up so much of the screen, and I'm just trying to look for the game that I want.
Especially if I'm just trying to scrub through something and it's just it's constantly playing. That's why I can't stand Netflix. I wish you could turn that shit off on Netflix.
That's a common complaint. A lot of people don't like that.
It's stop. I don't need you. Like I will actively keep scrolling on Netflix.
Yeah, just so it doesn't play the.
Just so it doesn't start it.
Yeah, I wish there was a way to turn that off.
Yeah,
but I'm looking. So pretty much what I'm hearing, and I wanted to ask you about that. Is the only difference between like the One X and the Series X UI just the fact that Series X has
an animated background? That's pretty much it.
Wow.
Now the animated background can be the color can change.
Wow.
So you could change the color. I have it silver. You see most people with the green.
So basically, like the PS3 animated backgrounds that they've been doing for fucking ever.
Yep.
So
I mean, you can still put your own background image up and such, like you could on the the previous things, but no, it's the same.
Can you choose your own animated background?
No, there's only that one right now. There's only that one. You know what? Not that I've seen.
I definitely want to look into that. I want to see if you. I guess there's two parts to this question. Are there others you could choose from? Kind of like on PS5, there's like a ton of them you can choose from.
I literally am sitting in front of the TV. I can find out right now.
That's one thing that I think Xbox has missed out on that Sony has done for years since PS3 is selling all these like premium backgrounds.
You see how much brighter my face is now? I know. Yeah, so I turn on the television.
It's daylight now out there.
Yep.
But yeah, Xbox has never done that. Xbox has never sold like gamer picks or backgrounds or anything like that. And Sony's done that since PS3. I think they're missing out on a lot of revenue. Right?
I hate the fact. Yeah, I hate the fact that I can't change the background on the PlayStation.
You can't change it at all.
No, as far as I've noticed, it's that sparkly whimsy shit that they have. Like
that's crazy. They already have like thousands of backgrounds.
I'm sure it'll pop up because I always have my weeb Japanese cherry blossoms that I typically put on my PlayStation 4s.
I hope that they we should do a special on like the kind of backgrounds we used on PlayStation consoles because I have two that I switch between, and they're both premium backgrounds, and one of them is the
take a screenshot, send it to me,
effect,
and then we'll post it on our Twitter page.
That'll work. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple good ones I have. Right now I'm using the Tifa background.
Okay. I'm using the on my PS4 Pro I'm using cherry blossoms. It's a cherry blossom and there's like a pagoda in the background. I'm trying to find preferences. Where is it under now? I don't really remember.
Oh, that's crazy that they don't have that. Because, I mean, there's so many that... And especially, like, the ones you have to pay for and everything. Like, are you telling me you couldn't port over a damn background?
Personalization. That's what it is.
It's kind of crazy.
Theme and motion.
So, hopefully they bring that out. And they don't have, like... There's only exclusive PS5 backgrounds. Hopefully they bring them over so you can use whatever PS4 backgrounds are out there.
Okay, yeah. So you have solid color, game art, achievement art, custom images, screenshots, and dynamic background is the one dynamic background.
Wow. Well, I'm sure they'll get some more. It would be nice if you could put like a GIF or something like that. And I don't mean like peanut butter jelly time or some shit like that.
But if you wanted peanut butter jelly time,
there's
you should have the option.
What I really like, especially like on on a computer background or like as a phone background, there's those like pixel art backgrounds, or they'll have like lights flickering and things like that. I'd love to have something like that. I think that'd be dope.
I got you. Yeah, that would actually be pretty dope. Yeah,
I wonder if the colors change with the month like they did on the PSP and the PS3.
So I pick the color in this case.
You just pick it? It doesn't like change or anything?
So you know how you can pick a background color?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I picked silver and that's what showed up for me. So, or gray. Excuse me. I'm going to turn this off now.
That's good, but I used to miss that on PSP where it would like change with the did it change with the day or did it change with the month?
I also got Watch Dogs. I did play that for like 10 seconds, and I thought.
After all that,
as much as I bitched about that game,
shit he was talking about Watch Dogs.
It was $30. It was $30, and I was like, you know what? Let's give it a go. It's not bad, but I probably won't get back around to it anytime soon. That's not bad. Put it on the box. Put it on the box. It's not bad. It's all right.
That's the quote they have.
Yeah. It's not even all right. It's just I.
Oh my god.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, that's Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 impressions so far, they're both very good. I'm enjoying both of them. Yeah.
Hopefully
there's nothing right now outside of Astro's Playroom, and I hate this because Kia came over to check out the consoles. There was nothing I could show him on Xbox. It was like blowing his mind.
Right. Yeah.
Really, the only thing I would say, even Spider-Man and such, like Astro's Playroom is so far the only game that feels next gen to me. Everything else feels
which is pretty funny.
Better. It feels better than it. Is a better version of a previous gen game.
I think that and Godfall are the only two PS5 exclusives out right now, aren't they? Well, that and Demon Souls.
Demon Souls.
But I mean, Demon Souls is
I have
remake,
on my GameFly
list. So I don't
list.
really count that.
Yeah, I have that on my GameFly list because I didn't want to buy it and knowing how I am.
Yeah. So the only original next gen game out right now is Godfall and Astro's Playroom, which is kind of interesting. And I haven't really heard a whole lot.
I did get Devil May Cry, but I have not actually played it.
That I would absolutely want to try out at 120 hertz. I think that would be pretty amazing.
But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, and Assassin's Creed is a nice little bump, I will say. I mean, like I said, I played on both, and you could definitely tell. I didn't try it on the One X, but I'm sure it still looks better. I did look at the new Ubisoft. You said one of our stories is Ubisoft is upgrading Uplay.
Yes.
So it is different. I don't know what's upgraded about it per se.
So it's not really, really just changing it around. They're focusing it more on crossplay. So they're just making it so that it's easier to be able to have cross progression across generations and be able to cross play with like other consoles and whatnot. So this is replacing Uplay with I think they're calling it Ubisoft Connect, I believe.
Yeah, it is called Ubisoft Connect. That's right, because I had to download the app for it.
So it just goes on with shut up, Google. It's so yeah, they're focusing more on being able to connect across generations and across console party lines and everything, which I think is a good idea. I think they're getting.
I hope you could transfer your saves around. That's what I really want to have.
I think right now there's only one game that supports that, and I think it's like Watch Dogs Legion.
Probably.
It's either Watch Dogs.
So I was talking to Alejandro, friend of the show, Alejandro. He has like a 30. He got one of the like 3080s or something like that. His computer.
He actually got a 3080.
So his computer is an absolute beast right now, and he was talking about. He was playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey on Xbox One S.
Wow.
And he was like, I wanted to finish it, and I wanted to get it on PC, but I was like, he was so far in. He's like, it was a struggle to finish that game on Xbox One S.
Oh
so
man!
After
with the 3080, just burning a hole in the damn.
Yeah, he was just like, it was like, man, I really wish I could have transferred my save file. I would have bought it again on PC.
Yeah, they got to make this stuff easier. I have a coworker of mine that's been. We've been exchanging war stories of trying to get a damn, because he's been struggling to get a 3080 and I've been struggling to get a damn Series X. So yeah. But yeah, that's crazy. You got a 3080 because it's just as.
You got
bad.
a PS5 as well.
Yeah, I don't understand what's going on. It's all luck, I guess.
It has to be, because I know people that've got them. I know people that've been trying, like you and several other friends that just can't.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
I'm just like, I don't have the money to try for anybody at this point. Like, I have like 6 people who be like, "Can you try to get it?" I was like, dude, I could not afford it right now.
Yeah.
Like, I straight up need to build up some money again, especially after freaking Shenmue popped up today. And it's just like, that was like, damn, I did not expect to be spending $200 today.
Right.
So
just like what we were saying about how there really isn't a lot of truly next gen games. I'm really disappointed that Xbox did not do something more with their controller. I mean, I love the Xbox controller, and I much prefer using the Xbox controller. But seeing a lot of, hearing about Astro's Playroom and the use of like the
triggers are nice.
The haptics,
that resist it. Even on Spider-Man, it's not a lot, but when you swing, there is a resistance to it, and it is interesting.
It's and it bothers me.
Maybe there'll be a newer version of this controller, because I love this disc, this clicky disc. clicky, click.
And I want to test out. I haven't heard anything about it when it as opposed to like fighting games or like as it pertains to fighting games and everything. So I'm waiting to hear how that goes because
I wonder if Samurai Showdown's a free update if you have the Xbox version.
Because
I know there's a Series X and S version.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Play Any
or
what was that?
What the term smart delivery?
Yeah, smart delivery. Yes, we got to get our Microsoft PR term straight.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it's. I'm really disappointed about that because Xbox One was the first system to really care about that kind of thing. They had impulse triggers in the Xbox One. PS4 didn't have anything like that. The Switch got HD Rumble, later on, and now PS5 is leading the charge with, the advanced haptics and the triggers and everything. And Xbox just kind of like, well, whatever. And then like didn't push forward haptics at all, which I'm like really annoyed about.
I'm just hoping there's a controller revision. I do love this controller. It's a great controller, especially if you like the Xbox One controller, but there might be a revision later on that'll have that. Maybe your, well, hopefully not, but maybe your Elite Series 3. I hope you don't have to buy an Elite Series to get there.
Have you noticed impulse triggers at all in any, or noticed the triggers at all in for any Series X games so far?
So Forza, you can tell. I feel like Forza, you can tell.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I know.
Maybe Gears to a degree.
Yes, out of the first Forza
for
stuff
sure.
had it because I do remember Forza.
And I'm worried that that's going to be a thing too. Like, as much as Astro's Playroom goes the extra mile to show you, hey, you can do this, our game is going to do that.
Yeah.
Are they going to utilize that? Because Astro does it a lot.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point. Because, I mean, how many games have you played on PS4 that uses the touchpad and the 6-axis and all of that?
Not a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And the same thing like on a Switch. I've had a Switch for a while, and I have a ton of games, and I've never noticed
HD
any
Rumble's
HD Rumble.
not really. Yep, not really a thing so much. Speaking of Switch games, so Doom. I just threw this in there because it was a light news week.
Yeah.
But Doom Eternal is no longer getting a physical release, which I wasn't going to buy anyway, probably. But
I definitely was not.
I thought they did a decent job with Doom on Switch to start off with, the regular Doom. So I was actually curious. I was probably going to rent Doom Eternal on Switch, but now I can't. I have to buy it or nothing.
Yeah.
So maybe if it gets super cheap. Doom on Switch is actually not bad, despite it being 30 frames. But
I might I would be interested in seeing how it runs or like trying.
You still need to play regular Doom Eternal.
But yeah, I wanna play actual Doom Eternal. And you know what? I wonder if Doom Eternal is going to have any kind of upgrades for Series X. I don't think I've heard anything about that.
It already looks and runs incredible. I doubt it'll.
They probably could bump it up to 120.
Maybe.
Because that's
possibly.
That's, to me, I think that's the only thing they could do since it already runs so well.
I mean, you could put the HD texture packs that the PC got. I'm pretty sure it's running on like high and not ultra version. So, I mean, the game looks and runs amazing already.
That's why I was so impressed with the first with Doom 2016. I was just like, oh my god, it was a great game, very amazing.
And I feel that Eternal's even better. So I mean, it was just like, what do we got next? We talked about Ubisoft. Ubisoft,
yes.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. We kind of went through just about everything outside of the Capcom leak that happened. That was a ransomware situation with them.
And I'm looking at an IGN article about it right now. So what is this? There's a list of stuff here. Well, I guess I'll just read off what they have here.
Yeah. I remember seeing something about Dragon's Dogma, and a few other things that may have leaked. The bad thing is, it looks like some employees' stuff got leaked, which like their personal info. But
yeah, that's not a good thing. But
no, that's definitely not a good thing.
I don't know how much. I'm going to just read off this list. So this is a list that IGN has about the in their article by Matt Kim here. So the list of the biggest names in their schedule: Resident Evil Outbreak Q4. That sounds amazing to me because I loved Resident Evil Outbreak File 1 and 2. If this is a remake of Outbreak, I don't know. I don't want to get too excited.
Outbreak 2 is also like notoriously expensive on PS2. That's the
I had both
PS2,
of them.
right?
I had both of them.
I had part one.
I played them online back when at the tail end of the PS2 life cycle. I actually played them online. Amazing games, amazing. And I was so mad that when I heard about the Resident Evil 3 kind of like pseudo spiritual sequel multiplayer thing. And I was like, I mean, it's not an Outbreak remake, but whatever. And I actually played it, and it's terrible. Yeah, don't bother with it. Resident Evil 3 was pretty good. I liked it a lot. That multiplayer component is, it's trash. Throw the whole thing away. But Resident Evil Outbreak would be pretty sweet. Dragon's Dogma 2. I think that also.
That's another game I wish I could transfer save files over because I have like a hefty save file on Switch.
See, Dragon's Dogma. That was I love that game. To me, that was the main console Monster Hunter before Monster Hunter World came out.
There you go. Yeah.
So
it's a single player Monster Hunter almost.
Yes.
If you think about it.
Yeah. So I mean, I like that game a lot, and I saw that they did. They had a remaster on Xbox One and PS4, and I was like, oh man, this is great. I'd love to play this again, and then not be stuck at the the crappy 30 frames, and it was still 30 frames.
Nope, still 30 frames.
Yeah, I don't.
That's why I ended up getting on Switch.
Yeah.
Honestly, the Switch, because I had it on Xbox One and I had it on Switch, they almost are identical.
So what did they even upgrade if they didn't upgrade the frame rate? When I looked at it, I was like, look,
it looks slightly better.
I'm like, it's easy. You take this game from 360 and then you up the frames and you release it. Like it's like, why would you that's my biggest pet peeve for this console generation that we're leaving. And I forgot to mention this was remakes or remasters where you're still running the game at fucking 30 frames a second. If after a damn console generation you can't get that thing to run at 60, throw the whole thing away. Don't even worry about it. I don't want it.
Let's try later.
Like, I'll just play it on 360 then. Like, damn. What the fuck was the point of that? So I'm going to keep moving. Street Fighter 6. And they're also saying that it could be released on all systems, which would be amazing because the whole reason why I got a PS4 last time around was because of Street Fighter 5. Take that with a grain of salt. Who knows if any of this shit is true?
I'm pretty sure Street Fighter 6 is happening. But
yeah, absolutely it's happening. But, who knows? So, Rockman match. Don't know.
It's Mega Man something.
Is this like a multiplayer Mega Man? Who knows? Resident Evil 4 remake. Honestly, I'm not excited about that.
Dude, I almost think that's a given at this point. It's gonna happen.
I mean, yeah, but oh god,
they're gonna milk that cow until
Resident Evil 4 is my absolute favorite Resident Evil game. Like it really is. Resident Evil 4 is what.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Me too.
I played Resident Evil 2. I played Resident Evil 3. And Code Veronica before then, but I never really got into them. Resident Evil 4 is what got me into Resident Evil. It's like, all right, this is the fucking game for me. Love that game.
I think that was a lot of people's big entry point.
Yeah.
I know myself included. I think I actually played Resident Evil 1 on PS1, but I didn't really get into Resident Evil until 4 came along. So,
Monster Hunter 6, of course, that's coming at some point. World
shocker.
2 or whatever you want to call it. Biohazard Apocalypse. That's interesting. Another, I guess, side story game or whatever. Could be interesting. SSF 6. Don't know what that's supposed to be.
Super Street Fighter 6.
I mean,
I don't know.
But
they're already planning
that
version
for like a year. I mean, you could be right. I mean, that's probably that probably is what that is, but that's kind of disconcerting. So, Final Fight remake. They've tried to do this already.
Yeah, that was what on Xbox.
Yes, Final Fight Streetwise. Yeah.
There you
It was
go.
on PS2, I think. I don't know if it was on Xbox.
I'm not sure.
But yeah,
You continue on. I'm gonna find out. I thought it was on both though.
yeah, it may be. I know that
glad you remember
Xbox
the name.
had like Spike Out, Battle Street, and there's another one too that it had another one of those 3D beat 'em up games. But yeah, the next one is Power Stone remake. A lot of people are gonna lose their shit if this is real. We've been waiting for this for a long time. I think this would be amazing.
I didn't read that. That would be cool. Though.
Yeah, Power Stone remake. So that's a big one. Ultra Street Fighter 6. Come on, man. Come on. Really?
They're already planning them way out.
This way out? Like, you have 3 of these fuckers on this list? I hope. Whatever. Let's move on. So, Resident Evil, Hank.
Okay, so
likely Hunk.
Final Fight Streetwise is on both. But anyway, continue.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Did you say Resident Evil Hank?
Resident Evil Hank. And then they have a note there saying likely Hunk.
You think?
So a whole Resident Evil
Actually,
game.
you know what? Resident Evil with Hank Hill, King of the Hill.
Oh, Bobby.
Boy, Sure are a lot of zombies out here, I tell you what.
I'll tell you what. Propane accessories. Sweet lady. All right, so they have. I mean, that's the whole list. Who knows? I mean, a lot of the stuff. A lot of this is
the name of the
like,
episode, by the way.
a lot of this is you definitely have to take it with a healthy grain of salt because I mean some of them are pretty much for sure is absolutely going to come out. Some of these I'm not really so sure about. Resident Evil Outbreak, I would love that, but I don't know if they would actually do that. That seems kind of iffy.
Yeah.
Especially for quarter.
I mean,
fourth quarter.
These may be just trademarks that they're maybe thinking about, so they just marked it to come back to it at some point.
If any of this is true, I'm ready for it. Let's go. Bring it out.
Capcom has been on a winning streak lately, and if anything, going by this list, they will continue said winning streak. So I'm down. I'm actually really excited for the new Resident Evil in general. So The Village, is that what we're calling it? That's the name?
I still haven't played
I think it looks good.
Resident Evil 7 at all. I played the
Resident Evil 7 is great.
I played the demo for Resident Evil 7 and I never played the game. I have it on Xbox as well and I never started it.
X enhanced because I actually started on Xbox and I was like, man, this looks like butt. And then I switched to PS4. That's actually what I played it on. And then I went back and I was like, man, after it got X enhanced. And I picked up a cheap copy, and I was like, "Wow, this looks great."
That RE engine.
I actually want to play with it again, but
yeah, that RE engine is amazing because I played on what was it? The first game I played on my One X was Monster Hunter World. I got it on the original Xbox. I played the beta on PS4. The PS4 version looks so much better than the original Xbox One version.
Yes, it does. It looks way better.
And then the One X version looked even better than that. And I was just blown away. I was like, this is what I got a One X for.
It's such a scalable engine. It's fantastic. So,
but yeah,
that's about it for this week, right?
Yeah, that's about it.
Just about. Yeah. There's, I'd say short episode, but I think it's about the same length.
Yeah, it is.
Who knows? Yep, same length. So, coming soon, new releases before next week's out. Devil May Cry Special Edition is getting a physical copy. I downloaded digital just because I couldn't wait, and I already had it on Xbox One, so I was like, whatever, I can have a digital copy.
Right.
Empire of Sin, for some reason the Optly, it's in Nintendo Directs a lot. That like isometric tactical gangster game is finally coming out.
Interesting.
Immortals: Phoenix Rising will be out, which I did cancel.
I don't think I've watched it.
I canceled. I had a pre-order, and I was like, you know what? Cyberpunk and a bunch of other stuff's coming out around then. I can wait.
Yeah.
So.
Hindsight is 2020.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk. So I'm gonna be too busy with Cyberpunk.
Yep, I'm also gonna be too busy with Dragon Quest XI Definitive Edition, which I finished the demo, the 10-hour demo. I finished in 4 hours because I already knew what the hell to do, and I was
I want to see how that runs on One X. I should definitely.
I did. I played it on One X and I played it on Series X. It runs the same. It looks the same, and that's very good.
Okay.
It still looks and runs incredible.
Yeah, I definitely want to try that. That comes out in December, doesn't it?
December 4th, which is our next episode.
On Game Pass.
And the last game. Yes. Yeah, it's on Game Pass too, but I'm going to buy a physical copy to help support. Dragon Quest games coming out over here. And John Wick Hex is also coming out. It's like a tactical John Wick's game. Kind of reminds me of like Hitman Go a little bit almost.
That's a mobile game, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's coming out on consoles.
Interesting. That does look pretty good.
Yep. Yeah, I haven't actually finished John Wick 3, but I was late to the party. John Wick 3 came out, and I hadn't seen any of them.
Really?
And I bought them all just because people were talking about how good they were. I was like, yeah. And I watched 1 and 2 back to back, and I was like, damn, this is great. And then for some reason didn't watch 3.
I still haven't watched 3 either. I watched the first 2 around the time that John Wick 2 came out, and I thought they were pretty good too, but I never saw the third one. Not yet. I'll get around to it. It's on my list.
I got you. It's on the watch list. So, I don't have too much on my watch list. Ernest Saves Christmas is one of them because it's Christmas time.
Right.
And Ernest.
Right.
You must watch every year. So, yeah, that's it. That's the whole episode. You got anything you want to plug beforehand? Anything you got planned for next week?
Yeah, got my family coming in from California for our Thanksgiving in our new house.
Okay.
So that's gonna be great because I'm really lazy and I don't like. I don't cook a lot of Jamaican food very often because it's very time consuming, and it is very the stuff that you have to get to make it, especially making it right, is very expensive and hard to find sometimes. Like I went to Walmart and got the last 2 packs of oxtail that they had, and it was like $40.
Jeez,
it is no joke. And I think it was like around roughly 5 pounds of oxtail for $40. So that is no joke. But I'm gonna let her cook it because I'm gonna fuck it up.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't want to fuck up $40.
That's basically that's absolutely not.
Yeah, we have our Christmas party on the. We always do Christmas early. It was like me, my wife, and our friends are like our little circle of friends. That's really the only Christmas I do. And I think I'm gonna make a baklava this year for a dessert. So that sounds fun. I bought one in previous years, but it's like I want to make one. I think that would be dope. So
yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, it might turn out terrible. Well, who knows? I made Brunswick stew last year, and it actually turned out damn good. So
yeah, that sounds good.
We'll see. But yeah, listeners, I know we're prattling on, but you can find us on iTunes and YouTube currently. I'll get around to putting us on other stuff eventually once I feel that we've got a little more down. So yeah. But, yeah, I've been Michael McLeod. Dwight Robinson, say goodbye.
All right.
We'll see you guys 2 weeks from now. Play some Dragon Quest in the meantime. Play that Dragon Quest demo. Get ready for the regular game.
Play some Caravan Stories.
I have Caravan Stories downloaded, actually, on the PS4 Pro.
You should
absolutely
try it out. I think on PS5 it works even smoother. I don't know.
Of course it does.
You should definitely try it out. I mean,
I definitely probably won't. All right. Bye.
All right then. Bye.